Want to know how I painted Teeny Tiny Little Dungeon Master? Stick around and I'll show you. Let's go. So is the title clickbait? You tell me. We're not actually painting all of Dungeon Master. Most of the work was done before I started filming. I'm just trimming out his cloak with some desert yellow as a base color. And I'm using my wet palette. Make sure that you're thinning your paints down sufficiently so that you can get one or two smooth, preferably two smooth coats. Let's take a look and check our color progress. Wait. Yeah. Something's not looking right. What? Son of a... Let's paint over everything we just painted with Banshee Brown. The desert yellow is a better color for the other parts of the trim. So we're going to go back through and base coat what we've just done. Rebase coat. And what I was saying before is thin your paint sufficiently so you can get two smooth, even coats to cover all the colors. Let's add a little dark stone for our shadow color. I like to work from a mid-tone to a dark and then to a light. Some people like to work specifically from light to dark or dark to light. I start with a mid, get my darks where I want them, and then go back and start doing the highlights. So we're going to mix that in with the Banshee Brown and find all the folds in his clothing and paint that in. I think that looks okay for a shadow. You don't want too much of a contrast difference between the mid-tone and the shadow at first. We'll go with some corpse pail to do our first highlight. And in this case, I didn't mix it with the Banshee Brown. I just went corpse pail straight. Thinned it out a little bit, do a thin coat for your first highlight. For our final highlight, we're going to add a little bit of white into the corpse pail. If you're wondering, I'm using a Kolinsky number 1, I think, or maybe number 2 brush. But it's a nice sable brush for all of this work. Just hit the raised areas where the light's going to catch it. Okay. Now a wash to bring out the contrast between the trim and the cloak. So Army Painter Quick Shade Dark Tone. And for this, it's important to not use one of your good paint brushes. Use a synthetic brush for your washes. Any washes and effects, you got to use synthetic because you don't want to ruin your good Kolinsky sable. but too expensive. Just add it in where I want to see a little bit more contrast or an outline. $10 hair dryer trick. Dries your stuff much, much faster. Just be careful. You don't want to use it on high power normally. And moving on to the base. Okay, Filthy Cape is a dirty gray, and we're going to paint that all over with another cheap synthetic brush all over the base. This is like a dungeon floor tile type of base, so we're going to start off with a dirty gray mid-tone color. And then we'll hit it with some of the paints that were already on the palette. Some tans, some browns. You might want to toss in a smidgen of green if you want some mold or something like that in there. But I'm just keeping it super simple. Tans and browns. And what you didn't see there is Army Painter Strong Tone, which is a dirty brown. And then we're going to wash the stones, the grout lines and all the stones there. Dry it off again. There we go. Now doing a little bit of dry brushing. What kind of brush am I using? It's a cheap eye makeup brush. Okay? You don't need to spend a lot of money on dry brush brushes because you're going to destroy them eventually. Even if you take good care of them, they'll get destroyed. Tamiya color. Why am I using Tamiya color? Because it's a great gloss. Okay? So X1 black gloss. Some people will tell you that you cannot brush paint Tamiya color. And those people are liars. You just need to use Tamiya thinner. You can't use water. You can't use alcohol. Use Tamiya thinner. Thin it down considerably, actually. At least 50-50 or more. And use thin coats and dry in between each coat with the hair dryer. I think I used 3 coats here. It comes out really nice and glossy with no brush marks. And the last little bit we got to do is paint his gemstone on his necklace. Okay, so the gemstone, I use a little bit of Gorgon hide, and it's a good bluish gray. It's almost white, as you can see there. It's next to the white. But that's going to be the shadow color for his gemstone. And I kept it really, really simple. I haven't done any special effects on this mini at all. And that's how he looks. Is it going to win a competition? Probably not. But I think he came out great. He looks like the cartoon. He looks like just like 1984, like I remember him. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you around for the next video. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Go build something awesome.